I am so excited to be here with Carol Lucchesi from Lucca, and it's the Chamber of Commerce of Lucca, and she is going to share Lucca with all of us. So Carol, tell me about Lucca.
Well, first of all, John, I'm very happy to have met you here in Lucca, and I hope you had a beautiful experience. I'm from the Chamber of Commerce. Actually, I'm from the Department of the Internationalization and Promotion. I'm the Trade and Promotion Manager of the Lucca Promos, and I'm very happy to be able to promote my city. It's not a very big city, but it's big because it has so many experiences that we can have. Mostly because, you know, our maestro Giacomo Puccini was born in this beautiful town.
And that's the history of the city, which is really great. And it's a walled city. It's really spectacular. Yes. Why do you love this city?
Well, you see, I have a very different story from other Lucchesi, because I came here as an immigrant. My father was from Lucca, and my mother met my father in Canada, in Montreal. So I was born in Montreal, raised in Montreal. That's why of my English so well. And then I came here when I was about 15, and so I grew up here, and I love this city really because it was different from the buildings we had in Montreal, and it's a very slow city, and it's well to be here.
Well, you know what I love about it is the fact that it's traditional. They haven't really changed anything, and yet you have young people here. I mean, it's just so active.
Yes, we have some very nice, very international events going on during the year. We have Comics and Games that just is over right now. It was from the 1st to the 5th of November, and we have had almost 160,000 people at the exhibition around the city, just looking at all the beautiful ghost players going around. It was nice to see the old, the ancient with the new generations coming up. And then we have a beautiful festival in summer. It's called the Lucca Summer Festival with a lot of big stars, international singers coming in. This year we had the Rolling Stones. You can't believe it. They just came. It was just one date in Italy, and it was here in Lucca. They sung right near the walls, outside the walls, and it was a magic evening for everybody.
And I heard you have 160,000 people?
Right, there too, yes. We had 54,000 paying people, and then all around, you know, when we have these events, people come in to see the event, but they come in even to experience and visit the town because it's so nice around here, and all the hotels are fully booked, and it's really nice. And we have all these little hotels, you know, boutique hotels where you can really feel at home, and you can really experience something different from the, let's say, the 5-star hotel, but it's like a jewel hotel.
It's like home, actually.
It's like home. It's tradition. It's good food. We have a lot of typical products, starting from our wine and our olive oil.
This piece of iron to save the plaster from the wheel of the carriages, can you see? And then you can see all the shutters in wood. Just to give you an idea, my grandmother passed away 3 years ago. She was 102. Oh my goodness. Okay? Till 95, 98, she was a wonderful cook. And every time we were offering, you know, products to say, can you cook these beans? She said, I do, honey. But is this coming from Prospero? Otherwise, I don't touch it. This is just to give you the idea of, you know, the tradition and the quality. So for us, it's an honor to guest you inside because it's really something traditional, and we have prepared just a little snack. There is one thing that is very well known is Puccini, but the second one, if you don't, sorry, is the olive oil. Maybe if you say Bertolli sounds, now is not more our olive oil, but in the 19th centuries was our olive oil. It was the first one we exported in the States. He said, where do you come from? Where it come from, this olive oil? Lucca, the best, you know, and all the Italians were having instead to have butter and grease. And here, you can see the local wine and, you know, a little table just in the middle of, just for us, just a little thing, you know. And then you can see something else. This is very important because I have to be very honest. The Italians, they love pasta. My father is so traditional that I say almost every day.
What I was really impressed with is the fact that the young kids are not leaving the city. A lot of old cities, the young people leave. They're staying here and they are doing wonderful things. I mean, I see kids in the middle of the night playing ball on the street, or people socializing in the cafes.
Sure.
And you have so many churches, beautiful churches.
Yes, of course. There is a lot of Catholics still here in Lucca. And of course, children like to be around here because there's so many things to do, not only in the walls, but outside the walls, because we have a lot of nice hills, and we can go trekking, we can go biking, and we can go, of course, to the seaside, because Lucca is not only the walled city, it's also going to the beach.
Villa Reggio is a beachside town with lots of shops, cafes, restaurants, and water sports. Trapani is a perfect stop for the best Italian pastries, espresso, and gelato. You can't be in Italy without drinking several glasses of local wine. I am toasting with everyone for a great experience in Lucca.
It's also going on the Apuan Alps. It's going on in the Serchio Valley, where we saw, of course, where we have still the house where Puccini used to go when he was a little kid, because his grandfather and grandmother used to live up there. So there are many things. And young people like to live here also because we have universities nearby. I mean, we're only an hour from Florence and 40 minutes from Pisa University, and they are very important universities. Alla Corte degli Angeli, and it's a boutique hotel. It's very nice and cozy, and you can really feel in a family. I would recommend this hotel to anybody really coming in Lucca. There are even other hotels. I'm promoting the whole area, and I have to say that all of them are very good. And we have some beautiful restaurants and cafes, and people can go around and meet some very happy people. They welcome you. It's still everybody knows you around. If you stay here a few days, you get to know your neighbor too.
Which is fantastic.
Yes.
We have these wonderful traditional dishes as well.
Yes, of
and
course.
Also, my God, the food has been absolutely exquisite here.
I'm
and
sure
fresh.
it has.
Whether you're on the sea or whether you're inland,
Yes,
it's just
of course.
amazing.
We have many local markets, and we have farmers who grow their own vegetables, and then they sell them to these markets. And we can, I'm a housewife also. I mean, I'm not only a manager, I have a family, and I usually go to the local market on Saturday to get all my vegetables, my fruit, and I cook all these beautiful things. We still have this tradition, and that's important because our kids will also get it and will be able also to start doing this too, and as we have with the vegetables, we do these wonderful soups as you tasted, and we're going to have a spelt soup tonight, and then of course all the the cold cuts we had around, the salamis and hams, and of course cheeses, goat cheese and lamb cheese, and our wine, because we have wines from the Colline Lucchesi and from the Monte Carlo. We have an association called the Strade dell'Olio e del Vino, who is in charge of promoting and putting together these vineyards and the wine growers, and also the olive oil. Tasting new olive oil is right the moment right now.
Which is fantastic.
It's really fantastic.
The one thing you did not mention is the carnival. And
Oh, of
with
course,
all
we
the-
did that today, and well, we'll talk about the carnival, of course, and it's a great parade going on. It's going to start at the end of January this year, and there's going to be 5 courses going on with these beautiful floats that are of artisans. Of a lot of artisans do this in an artistic way, you know, and it's known worldwide. And I would suggest everybody to come in, even in that period, even if it's winter. I mean, here the winter is not that cold. It's not like in Chicago or New York, you know. So if you come here, you can also, if in a sunny day, you can still stay in the sun and go along the sea and really taste and see the carnival.
So this is really related around Lent, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
And every year it changes.
Yes, it changes according to the Lent period. And then, of course, we have the calendar of the operas of Giacomo Puccini, because as you know, we have the birthplace of Giacomo Puccini in town, the museum.
And a statue.
And the statue, the museum and the statue. And of course, we have at Torre del Lago Puccini, the Grand Open Theater. And every year there's an opera calendar going on with all his best lyric operas, and from great opera singers come to this festival, and all over the world they book ahead of time to be able to see and really hear the beautiful music. But of course, even if you go around here in the town, outside the town, you'll probably hear of the music of Puccini, the Bohème, or Madama Butterfly. Tosca is beautiful.
And you have a music school here for the students.
We have a Boccherini music school, and it's getting always more known. A lot of people come in even from foreign countries just to have lessons and learn how to play an instrument.
Well, one of the big highlights for me was the opera the other night,
Yes.
where the music was just absolutely exquisite and the voices rang from the rafters.
Yes, and of course it was in this beautiful Santa Caterina church, and the atmosphere of the church is so exciting. You know, it gives you this in your heart. It comes from your heart, you know, you can hear it from your heart and from your ears.
Absolutely, and also they have these craftsmen as well, like those shops with the scarves where they actually
Of
weave.
course,
They
you saw
do
that.
manually all these products. They're really high quality, very exclusive. And instead with machineries, the others, but in the tradition of the town, even with the views of the town. You can see this is Lucca, from a print of 1742, you know, with the walls, with everything. And of course, these are natural fibers, or otherwise pure silk. They do all these things. And then they took even labels, very exclusive, like those bags that you can see. They are made with leather, but weaved. So weaved with a loom, like with the same technique that she's doing, but to weave the leather to produce those exclusive bags.
I think Lucca has a lot to offer when
I'm
people come
sure,
here.
and I would like to invite everybody to come here and visit our beautiful city and our territory, you know, because we want to show the lands of Giacomo Puccini. This is all the land of Giacomo Puccini, to experience the whole territory, not only the city, but the outskirts, the hills, the seaside, and the plain, you know, and we have so many things to show, and we're near all the principal cities of Tuscany, because as I said before, we're also near Siena, Volterra, San Gimignano. We can hire a car, stay by the hills. We have beautiful farmhouses we rent out, and even stay by the hills with the family, have a swimming pool, and go outside maybe for the day and come back and visit a city, and then come back and have a nice relaxing evening by the pool and eat local products.
But it's not just a vacation, it's an education.
Yes, and it's an education and an experience.
Yeah.
Something very difficult to find, and here in Lucca you'll find it.
Thank you so much, Carol. This
I'm-
is such a joy.
We would like to bring Puccini alive here for you because the life of a composer is eternal because it goes with a beautiful melody that he composed. So we would like to start with the only, Puccini composed all this big tragedy. Manon Lescaut, she dies in the desert. Mimi, she died, poor darling, at the end of the opera. Tosca, she jumps from the castle. Butterfly, she died. Cioè, un disastro. But also one comic opera, that is Gianni Schicchi, is part of Il Trittico. Tabarro, Suor Angelica, and Gianni Schicchi is the last day of this magic journey. And this is a very modern opera. It was composed 99 years ago because next year is going to be the centenary. And it took place in New York at the Metropolitan for the premiere. It's very modern, this opera, because the music never ends. It's not the old structure, aria, duet, tercet. So it's really modern, but there is this moment where everything stops. What's happening? We have Lauretta who sings to her father. Her father is Gianni Schicchi, name and surname. And she sings, "O mio babbino caro, oh my darling, oh my beloved daddy." And in this, you have to imagine to be on Ponte Vecchio, because this was, it takes place in Florence. And Lauretta asked to her father, "Oh, please, Daddy, let me marry my beloved Rinuccio." But Gianni, which is a Toscan man, doesn't want to mix his blood with the blood of the family of Rinuccio. And no, for those people, no, I don't want. But, as every good girl with the right words, she can convince her father. from the Marriage of Figaro, which was one of the most popular opera in 200 and something years ago, the end of the first act, where Figaro is very upset with Figaro is the servant of the count, of the castle, and as it was in the medieval rites, the count would have the right to spend the first night of marriage with each new bride in his property. You understand? Mm-hmm. Well, no, because today it's not really. Someone would be really upset. So, but Figaro was really upset for that. So he sings to the count. Do you want to sing this? No. Okay. So Figaro is very upset with the count, and he says, "Non più andrai farfallone amoroso." That in Italian, with the translation, it means you don't go anymore. You know, like what the butterfly does. They jump from a flower to the other, and so likes to do at the count. And so Figaro is upset.
Addio piccolo cherubino, come canta in un punto il tuo destino. Non vedrai farfallone amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girando, e le belle trovando riposo, narcisetto adoncino d'amor. E le belle trovando riposo, narcisetto adoncino
Wow, what an experience learning all about Puccini. I mean, his whole lifestyle, his operas, my God, Madame Butterfly and La Bohème, everybody knows the music. This has been an incredible education here in Lucca, and I can't wait to return. Remember, my world is your world, so get up, get out, and travel! Hope to see you next week at another colorful destination. So long for now.